We're back. It's Friday. This is The Week That Was with me, Simon Brown, your host. Julieta is no longer with us. We miss her already, but we do have the old and the bold. Sasfin Securites, David Shapiro, Vestact's Bright Khumalo. Gentlemen, welcome. What are you showing us there?
Vestact.
Yeah. I was going to get there. This whole thing is complicated. I had to write the script at 5:30. So it's got a market. It's been a while since we've been on air, and well, hey, it's a bull market. I mean, notwithstanding why we've been off. I mean, the Nikkei collapsed. The yen went to hell in a handbasket, but here we are.
Yeah, we can't handle stress. So it's going, and I still think it's going to go. I think one of the features is just how fast it recovered and how it doesn't want to go down. So I would expect, even our market, I think there's a lot of momentum behind it, and this is going to continue right through to the end of the year. So just pick your theme.
Yeah. We chatted before, Bright, around, I mean, small and mid caps, the Russell 2000, etc. And I know we're dismissive of it, but we're seeing breadth happening, even locally. I mean, little combined motor holdings been catching a bid all week. I mean, like crazy stuff. I mean, this bull market is spreading out, which is what, like, you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would use the word more broad-based. So it's more broad-based, and I like it when a bull market is like that. But obviously there are casualties in the process of that. If you're a new investor now and you're buying and everything is going up, you're thinking you're the smartest guy in the room. So there's that too. But with regards to how, the bounce back came from the carry trade, whatever they were calling it.
Crash and tall marks.
Exactly. It's been big tech that's, gained. I mean, we're at stone's throws away from all-time highs again. So
yeah.
I guess we're no longer talking about the small and mid caps, but I think it's still very important to mention that they're still up a lot this year. Maybe not as up a lot as big tech, but they're still up a lot this year. 13%, here and there on the Russell 2000.
Not bad in dollars.
We'll take that.
I think what will happen, Simon, it doesn't mean we saw the sell-off in tech. Doesn't have its promise. I think that's nonsense. What will happen, though, is tech will slow down and others will catch up. It doesn't mean that tech's going to fall. It just,
okay.
you know what I mean?
So they get together that way.
It's almost a derating of the PEs and that. They'll still probably be growing at 15% per annum for the next few years, not the 25, 30%. But I can live with that. I can handle companies that grow at those kind of levels.
And they're sitting on a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Yes. Truckloads of cash, like proper big truckloads of cash.
So there's still potential catalysts coming from that.
Not a Nissan 1-ton hard body, like a big truck, like a big one. Also making news this week, Joburg has a new mayor, but he says don't expect any improvements. Zondo hangs up his robes. Kamala takes the baton from Biden. Jackson Hole plans to reassess effectiveness and transmission of monetary policy, whatever that means. Floyd is national organizer of MK, whatever that means. US job market data revised lower by a lot. Local inflation comes in awesome. Results come in all over the place as Sasol writes down everything. And Absa loses another CEO. William Smith, the man who taught us all math, dies. Beyonce launches a whiskey with Mount Hennessy. Sells for $89. Seems expensive. And a theft of 11,000 cases of chicken wings. But first, let's start with that local July inflation number, 4.6%. That was better than expected and just a whisker from the targeted 4.5%. Surely the debate around September is no longer do they or don't they. It's now, is it 25 or 50?
Exactly. I mean, I was looking at the borrowing rate. It has been going to the favor of, the common man. It's been going down slowly in South Africa, but it wouldn't hurt, to be closer to 2020 levels. That's all I'm saying. It wouldn't hurt the economy. It wouldn't hurt the consumer. We need that. We need that for Christmas. We need that for the Santa rally.
Yeah. And Black Friday. If we look at what the US is doing, so assuming Jerome cuts in September, everyone says he will. He's cutting at what? What's it? Call it 3%. Yeah, but inflation's at 3 when target is 2.
Yeah.
We're going to be cutting at like 4.4 when inflation's 4.5. I mean, you got to start cutting before you get there. Our governor, this is going to wing past him before he starts.
I'm very conscious of that, and I think not only must he start to reduce rates, but at a speedy pace. We can't do 25 points. It doesn't mean anything, and I think if this economy needs love. I know we're going to get the boost from the
Not just love, all the TLC.
You tender love and care, sure. But I know we're going to get the the two-pot system, which is going to be released on this economy. I think we're going to be spending that money faster than we can count our fingers,
It's
on
not going to go far. It's because it's not that much.
40-odd billion. I mean, it's
40 billion. Okay.
Yeah.
That's still okay. That's still a lot of money.
Jeff Bezos Tuesday, but anyway.
But besides that, we need to bring rates down. We need to make it more comfortable for consumers and all for businesses. The prime rate is 11.75.
Yeah, I know.
You can't function at that level.
Yeah.
You can't build businesses borrowing at
So
that
we're
level.
calling it 50-point cut September.
More, and that, plus they've got to keep doing that for the next couple of months.
They only have 2 meetings left.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not 3 meetings like the Fed.
Like the Fed.
It's 2 meetings left.
But then, I mean, and the Fed,
really better be
because
decisive.
the last Fed cut, I went and had a look. Their last Fed, so the increase was 75 points. They can't do 25. I mean, we had that job revision number, 880
Down.
worse, than expected. I mean, surely Jerome's also saying 50.
He'll be scared to spook the market. If he says 50, people
Spook
get
me,
worried.
come on, spook me.
No, no. Can I tell you something? The futures market is pricing in for 2024 full 1%. So if he's
3 meetings, 1%.
yeah, exactly, 3 meetings, 1%. So that's within range. So he can start with a 0.5. Be serious. Be a serious man.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, they're not Kamala or they're not Trump or anybody. They haven't got that exuberant and gregarious attitude. It's a very dull meeting. You mentioned what they're going to discuss.
Well, let's
there.
get to that now. Staying with the overpaid bankers, it's their annual jaunt to the snow-capped Jackson Hole, and the theme is really reassessing the effectiveness and transmissions of monetary policy. Really, what does that mean?
I don't know. I just know our central banker will be there.
I know, and it really is. If you look at the photos, I mean, it properly is like snow-capped and beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, I suppose in a sense, right, we had, US inflation got to 9%, highest in 40 years. The UK got to 11%, highest in 50 years. I suppose they're going to look back and say, well, we had the worst inflation in a generation. Did we manage it well?
Yeah, it's exactly that. I think the biggest issues that the global economy has had to deal with was coming out of COVID. Mm-hmm. No one knew how to deal with an economy or a global economy that literally closed down. Came to a standstill and caused all kinds of ructions from, supply chain, harbors clogging up. You couldn't get anything offloaded. You couldn't buy anything and so on. And they've now got to look, were the textbooks that we used useful enough?
Or should we write new ones?
You know what? Yep. The one thing I must say, if it wasn't for ChatGPT and those large language models which came through in November 23, we would have had a miserable year.
November 22.
22, sorry, yeah.
22 years old, yeah. But, Bright, you got to say, if I were marking central bankers, I mean, I would be saying, yeah, you guys did okay.
No. I'm not going to do that whole comparison of 08 because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I can only speak about what I've seen. I think for the most part, they try to stimulate, the different economies out of their knees to where we are today. And I don't think it's a bad place where we are today.
Yeah. I think they were a little late with increases,
with certain exceptions in the process, obviously.
Yeah. And they were a little late to start rising.
Yeah.
I do think they were a little bit behind the curve there, but subsequent to that, and maybe a little late to start cutting. We'll see. We'll wait.
Well, that's what they got to discuss. Were the policies that we're using effective enough?
Okay.
Or are we in a fog?
It's going to be so wonky. It's going to be so wonky. The Democratic National Convention concluded in the early hours of this morning with Kamala Harris accepting the nomination, and the contrast to the weird Republican National Convention couldn't be starker. But we now have our candidates. Can they just vote already? But first, we need to learn how to pronounce her name. So, gents, it is Kamala. Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala.
Kamala. Kamala. I got to say, I'm disappointed. There was no Taylor Swift. There was no Beyonce. I thought they were going to have a big act. Or did it happen and I missed it?
No, there's no big act because they're trying to text them to the wazoo. So obviously I'd be pissed as well.
No, hang on. But let's pause on that. Firstly, you got to have $100 million, which is no one in this building. Secondly, I really think Joe Weisenthal from Bloomberg put a tweet out. He says,
yeah. I saw that. So it's sneaky.
No, but it's not wrong. You are in a hedge fund and you're paying 2 and 20. When do you pay your 2 and 20? Do you pay it when you exit or do you pay it every year? That's an unrealized gain, and you pay it every year.
Yeah, but that's a tax on rich people on hedge funds anyways.
But this is
us normal people, we're not in.
No, but this tax is for people with more than 100 million.
I don't know, man. I think it sets a bad precedent, and if the policy does go through, it's gonna be filtered down to normal individuals with homes, which are real assets, by the way, which I need.
I say tax the rich. Mark Cuban had a good idea. He said, these folks who borrow against their unrealized gains, tax them on that. But let's get to the real story.
That's smart.
Yeah, that was smart. That's why he's a rich man.
Exactly.
So let's get to the real story. We got an election. This is a cakewalk, right? That old man's got no chance.
No, I wouldn't say that.
On the coastal areas and that, but I think in the mid, you've never been to Tennessee or Nebraska or any of those.
Damn right I haven't.
No.
But give me the policies. Like, that policy right now is just...
What policies?
You know what, Simon?
Come on, Trump's policy has banned birth control.
When I listen to Kamala...
Kamala. Oh, my word.
She's going to get the woman vote. She's going to get the black vote, and she's going to get the youth vote. Yeah. Maybe the old men, white men like us, whole thing, maybe not so.
Not a white man.
No, not you. I was 20.
There's white men like
this white man would. This white man is voting
man.
For the comma. This white man's voting for the comma.
Me too. I thought she's brilliant. And I think I'm so happy with the revival of the Democratic Party, and I just hope that Trump takes note of what's happening.
Yeah. I don't know. She was creating a nice gap in the polls until these policies came through and said she was endorsing an old man, sleepy old man. So I don't know.
Do you know what?
So I'm still right in the middle. I'm like, where is logic here, guys? Help me.
You've got to understand the tax system in America. It is so distorted, so difficult, so convoluted. You know how many people pay estate duty tax in the United States? 1,000 a year. That's all. Anyway, we'll go on to that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, but look, it is crazy, and I got to skip Nedbank, who owes 2.7 billion. And if you do the crime, you should pay back the money. You make profits from the crime, pay it back. It's simple. But before the break, William Smith has died at the age of 85. A truly remarkable man who really made maths and science fun and easy. He did a TV game show, which I found on the interwebs. Go Google it. It's absolutely astounding. You were too old for him. You actually had him on TV. I'm young enough when he used to come down to UKZN and do winter school and teach us in person. The man was a treasure.
Yeah, he introduced us to what do you call that projector thing?
The overhead projector.
That was epic. So I had to learn maths that way because my maths teachers weren't really, all there. But it was some great memories.
He was special. He was special.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. After the break, a jam-packed week in companies, much of a horror show, and those missing chicken wings. Stay with us.